Good old Obama and Epstein. What a surprise. Not really.
Circle had direct communications with
Oh, oh, inner circle. Let's back it up. Sorry.
are emails that show that Barack Obama's inner circle had direct communications with Epstein. And Obama himself appears to have been referred to as the boss in correspondence between Epstein and a top White House lawyer, right? So we've got another big guy connection here, right? This is very similar to what we saw with Biden and the emails, where he's getting kickbacks from the corrupt Ukrainian energy company Burisma, right? Where we learned that among all the Biden family members that were getting all their percentage of kickbacks, 10%, if I recall, is 10% was set for the big guy, right? The term big guy was found to be used several times all throughout Hunter Biden's emails on his now infamous laptop from hell, which of course 51 so-called intelligence experts told us was nothing more than Russian disinformation, which ironically turned out to itself to be the epitome of disinformation. And every single time big guy is used throughout those emails, it clearly referred to Joe Biden. Well, we've got something very similar here with the Epstein emails with regard to Obama. And it all goes through Obama's White House counsel and one of his closest personal friends, Kathleen Rumler. She's with Goldman Sachs right now, if you didn't know that. Shows you this revolving door between big government and big business that consolidates unprecedented power and wealth in the hands of very, very few. But here's what the newly released emails show. So in 2014, so this is after Epstein had already pleaded guilty to soliciting prostitution from a minor back in 2008. Catherine Rumler, one of Obama's best friends and part of his inner circle, was exchanging emails with Epstein. And these weren't casual messages. Epstein was asking her to speak to, quote, the boss about something serious. So who's the boss in this situation? Well, there's only one, and it's Obama, the president of the United States. That's the only person she was working for. Now, the email chain is rather stunning. Epstein tells Rumler in this email that you need to talk to the boss. And then she responds, agreed, but I need to be prepared to say yes before I talk to him. Now, they're discussing what the emails call high risk, low risk, professional, emotional, and financial implications. Now, what that exactly is, we have no idea at this point. The emails simply don't say. But you can bet the legacy media ain't going to be asking, because it doesn't help them in their attempt to fabricate an anti-Trump narrative with Epstein. Now, this was not an isolated incident. These emails continued through 25 and 2016. So for a full 2 years, Obama's inner circle was apparently maintaining contact with this convicted sex offender. And when asked about it, Rumler gave the classic, non-denial denial, right? She basically said, well, I regret my past associations with Jeffrey, blah, blah. And Goldman Sachs is standing by her. They're saying it's a non-issue for them in terms of them employing her. But there's so much more. Larry Summers, Obama's Treasury Secretary, he was also having regular conversations with Epstein. And I mean regular. And I kid you not, the email shows Summers asking Epstein for dating advice. That's in the emails. High-level Democrats in Obama's inner circle were asking Epstein, one of the single worst child sex offenders in our nation's history, for freaking dating advice. I mean, you have to let this hit you. The Treasury Secretary of the United States was taking romantic counsel from a convicted sex trafficker. And it gets worse. You ready for this? The latest now is that back in 2016, Epstein wrote to the journalist Michael Wolff, and Wolff has been doing everything he possibly can to try to bring Trump down through Epstein, but he admits there's nothing there. He had a personal contact with Epstein, and Epstein was basically like, I got nothing on this Trump guy. But regardless, he did reportedly tell Wolff that Hillary was, quote, doing naughtiness with Vince, doing naughty things, implying she was having a sexual affair with Vince Foster. Now, you remember Vince Foster was deputy White House counsel under Bill Clinton, and a longtime Clinton ally going all the way back to Arkansas, and he was found dead in July in 93 from supposedly a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. So this latest revealed Epstein email suggests that Epstein believed, or he had information that Hillary and Vince were having an affair while both worked in the Clinton White House. Now, this is what I mean about the Epstein files being a tripwire for the Democrats. While their lapdogs and the legacy media are obsessing over trying desperately to connect Trump to Epstein, the actual documented connections that are coming out for all to see are actually between Epstein and Obama's people, multiple members of his administration, senior advisors, and current members of Congress. The emails show coordination, they show ongoing relationships, and they show alarmingly casual comfort with a known sexual predator. So what's happening here? Well, next week, Congress will be voting on releasing all the Epstein files. And ironically, it's the Republicans who are suddenly demanding transparency.
All right, let's continue this. Lots of high leading officials with Obama had contact with Epstein, and in illicit ways.
Seem to lose their enthusiasm to have all the files released. They just want to continue to cherry pick through them and release only those that mention Trump without any of them having any explicit connection to Epstein's nefarious practices, and none of them will. But it appears too late for the Democrats. They wanted to make Epstein the major issue in D.C. Well, they're getting it. And as a result, now it's high-level Democrats, even a former Democrat president, who are the ones that will have everything to lose. Game, set, match, Trump.
Wow, this is going to get interesting, and it's going to get bad for the Democrats and other individuals. I think there's Republicans involved in this too. Don't be surprised if there are. Roger Martin here from Lockwood, Montana. Wow.